Hi friends, welcome to Oliveboard and I hope all of you are doing great. So finally, the phase 1 examination dates for IFSCA Grade A 2023 exam is out. So the exam is going to be held on 15th of April 2023, right? So in this particular video, what we will be doing is in the last 10 days, what should be your approach, right? What should be the strategy? This is what we're going to be quickly discussing. Fine. So here you can see that this is the study plan that we'll be referring to. I'll come back to this later. But firstly, first 4 days are divided into one category. Okay. Then we have day number 5, 6, and 7. The last thing we have is day 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So this is how your days can be planned. So we'll come back to this later. But before that, what I want all of you to do is understand the pattern. Why are we seeing the pattern just 10 days before the examination? Because here is the key to crack this examination. If you don't understand the pattern, you might be putting your energy in the wrong place. Okay. See, first of all, on 15th of April, you're going to be writing two papers, paper 1 and paper 2, right? The first point is both these papers are MCQ type, objective type of questions would be asked. Okay. The other thing is, which is very specific to IFSCA, it is on similar lines like SEBI examination. We have paper wise cutoff. Okay. And you need to concentrate on clearing that cutoff. And if you do that, you're through to phase 2. So clearing phase 1 is not a tough job provided you know what needs to be done. And that is what I'm going to quickly walk you through in this particular video. Okay. So if you talk about paper 1, clearly 30 percentage is the paper cutoff, right? So you need to score 30 out of 100, okay, to be eligible to move forward. The second thing you need to note is there is no sectional cutoff. Usually in examination, we have section cutoff. If you talk about RBI Grade B, we do have section wise cutoff. The same thing applies to Nabard. But for IFSCA, if you have a look at paper 1, you have sections like GA, English, Quant, and Reasoning. There are 4 sections. Okay, each section 25 marks you'll have allocated. But the good part here is you don't have to score minimum marks in Quant, Reasoning, English, or GA. Right? So how does it help us? In case if you're somebody who's very strong in say quantitative aptitude, it comes to you easily, right? So you can maximize your score by attending more questions from quantitative aptitude. Okay. Example, if you're not good in say reasoning section, right? You don't have to worry about it. You can solve minimum number of questions from there in case there is a scenario where even if you don't solve anything and just take care of questions like quant, English, or GA, that also would solve the job do the job for you because you need to clear the minimum cutoff, right? This is one point. The second thing is paper 2. There you have minimum cutoff to be 40 percentage. What we will do is we will quickly have a look at how do we prepare for paper 2, because if you look at the streams or the subjects that are mentioned in the pattern, they're not very clearly categorized. Okay. And if you're somebody who's going to appear for this examination for the very first time, then definitely you'll be taken aback by having a look at the topics that are mentioned. So don't worry, we'll categorize that. Okay. Now, have a look at one other thing, which is the aggregate cutoff. Okay. Individually, you need to score 30 percentage in paper 1, 40 percentage in paper 2, but the aggregate cutoff stands to be 40 percentage in total. That means out of 200 marks, you need to score 80. Okay. Now, this brings me to one point. Let me just take you there. See the third point on your screen. We need a total of 80 out of 200 to clear phase 1 of IFSCA Grade A 2023, right? Now, the first paper minimum requirement is 30. The second paper minimum requirement is 40. So 30 plus 40 is 70. We need 80. What we would suggest you to do is try to get this 10 extra marks from paper 1 because paper 1 is comparatively easier than paper 2. Now, this again can vary from person to person. If you're somebody who has already given SEBI or you have appeared for RBI, you might find paper 2 to be simple. Okay, in that case, that extra 10 marks you need to pull in from paper 2. Right? So, this should be your strategy because these 10 days, these are the points that you need to keep in mind while preparing as well. Right? One other thing is 50 questions are going to be asked in paper 2. Let me take you back to the pattern, right? And here, again, 50 questions, each question 2 mark. The duration is just 60 minutes. So definitely the paper is not going to be on the tougher side. Okay. If you have a decent amount of preparation, if you know what kind of questions to attend, you can easily crack phase one of IFSCA exam. Okay. The other thing is, as I told you at the start as well, there is no sectional cutoff within a paper. Fine. So please play on your strengths. Identify what is your strength. Okay. Fine. Coming to the next section of this particular video, let's talk about phase one sections individually, right? Here we are seeing quantitative aptitude and reasoning. Fine. Let's talk about quants first. Here you can see that there is an expectation of 1 or 2 DI that can be asked. We have some 7 to 10 marks that are going to be asked from arithmetic. Go for easy topics. Okay. Don't go in depth right now. Fine. And there are other miscellaneous topics as well. You need to aim for, say, anything between 12 to 15 marks. Be very smart enough. You can go for 1 DI, you can go for DI plus arithmetic. That will give you a good combination of scoring 12 marks. Right? Practice accordingly in the coming 10 days. Fine. In case of reasoning, you can expect some 2 puzzles. Okay. Even if you're not comfortable with puzzle, don't worry. We have a good coverage of topics like syllogs, direction sense, coding, decoding. So these kind of topics can be referred to. And if you practice these, you can aim for at least 12 marks out of 25 in reasoning. Right. So if you're someone who's not comfortable with puzzle, I would say don't worry about it. Coming to the next 2 sections in paper one, in English, I would again say it will be easy because you have reading comprehension that is being asked. So target reading comprehension questions. Okay. And in the reading comprehension questions, I would say usually out of 8 to 10, 5 questions are going to be doable. Okay. So aim for those questions. You have error detection, you have clause test and miscellaneous type of questions. Don't worry about it. Your focus should be on 2 things I would recommend. One is the reading comprehension part and the other is the clause test part, right? The next thing is general awareness, right? Now, in case of general awareness, let me tell you, don't do this mistake of spending more time in GA, okay? Because if you start spending more time in GA, you can see that the result that you're getting is not going to be at par with the amount of energy and time that you're going to spend, right? I would say April, even the first week, don't take that much chance there. Don't read that much into April first week. Okay, what you will have to do is Jan, Feb, March. Aim for some 8 marks, I would say, out of 25 that you have for GA. That would do the job for you. And specifically, they have mentioned focus on finance sector related news. So if you check the learn plan that we have given, inside we have a section, in the notes section, there is current affairs that we have individually covered for these months. Okay, for Jan, for Feb, for March, that is specific for IFSCA, right? If you do that, that would be more than enough for you. Don't go and do extensive reading of GA. That is not required. Okay, and in the pattern, they have mentioned finance sector. Please make sure you are noting down these points because these 10 days are very precious for us. And I don't want you to invest your energy in the wrong place. Okay, fine. That was about paper one. Coming to paper two. The screen on your screen, you can see we have some categories being mentioned. Now, why have we mentioned these categories in the first place? See, what happens is when you have a look at the pattern, the topics are very segregated. It's all over the place. Let us just put that into boxes or categories for you. Now, easier category that you can spot here is management, category number 4. If you're somebody who has given RBI or SEBI, this is going to be easier thing for you. Even if you're giving IFSCA for the first time and not have appeared for the other regulatory exams, I mean, even then I would recommend you to go ahead with management because it is something which is static in nature and it is easily understandable when you compare it with the other things, right? The other category that I would want you to do is definitely going to be the category 1, wherein you're already covering Jan to April 2023. I would say March here, okay, in specific. We are focusing on the finance sector. So already you are doing your bit when you're covering GA there, right? The other category here is costing category number 6. Here, this particular section is also static in nature. So you can also go ahead with category 6 when you talk about the prioritization, right? Category 7 stands to be Indian economy, global economy, and 5-year plans. This is again very important for us because they have mentioned it separately. These are like chapters. This is also of prime importance for us to cover, right? So in case you're somebody who is lost in the pattern, don't worry, just pause for a minute, see these categories, you'll be able to get a hold of the syllabus. Fine. And one other important point that I would like to say is, please make sure the organizations that are mentioned here, RBI, SEBI, IDI, and PFRDA, you know the basics of it, like the structuring, the functions of it, okay? You never know, you might get some basic questions on these particular regulatory bodies, right? So please do that thing as well. Now, this is the management syllabus. Now, you would ask me, where is the syllabus listed? Yes, we don't have it listed for IFSCA, but when you talk about IFSCA pattern, it is on the similar lines like our SEBI Grade A pattern. Okay, so there you have these chapters mentioned. So this is the kind of these are the topics, and specifically management, complete it ASAP because it is easier and you can get good number of questions from there. Okay. This is finance here. Finance, again, if you're somebody who's just starting off, which is not going to be the probability I'm hoping, but still, let us take that case. I would want you to start from financial markets, do this properly, okay, and then move on to basics of derivatives. Fine. So this is like we have marked it as first, second, third, and the fourth priority, so that you can just divide your time accordingly. Costing is here. Again, they haven't listed the syllabus in the IFSCA notification, but here you have these chapters that are a part of SEBI. So we are assuming that's going to be extrapolated to IFSCA as well, right? Again, costing is a section which is a little easier when compared to sections like commerce and accountancy. So we would prefer you guys to do costing rather than go for commerce and accountancy if you're just starting out or if you're lagging in your preparation. I would put it that way. This is commerce and accountancy. Go ahead, do the basics first. Okay. Don't go for the in-depth material. That's not required right now because we just have 10 days and we need to make sure we are doing those things that will help us gain more marks, help us qualify the minimum cutoff that is required. Okay. Fine. From the side of Oliveboard, we do have learn plan. We do have test plans specifically for phase one, and there is also a plan which includes phase one and phase two test. But before I end this particular video, I want to show you the study plan quickly. It will take me 2 minutes, and I want you to focus here. Let's divide the number of days into categories here. Firstly, you can see day 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? See, paper one, you will have to keep practicing. Quant, reasoning, and English is something you will have to keep doing. Okay. For current affairs, I would say start with Jan and Feb, complete it in the first 4 days. And in the paper two, select category 2, category 4. Easily doable. Don't worry about it. 4 days are enough for you to complete these 3 components that you see on your screen. Okay. The next slide here shows you the study plan for day 5, 6, and 7. Again, you need to do QRE practice that is going to be there for all your days. Fine. And I have also shown you the important topics that you can go ahead with. Right. And you need to complete Jan and Feb current affairs here. For paper 2, I've mentioned the categories. Category 5, 6, and 7. Seventh is something I would say just 3 chapters only. Okay. And that's going to be easily doable. So don't worry about that piece. Fine. The last 3 days that you're going to have is something where you'll focus on March month for your current affairs. Okay. And QRE is something, as I told you, you are going to be doing it simultaneously only. And in paper 2, your category 1 and category 3 would be the homework here. Category 3, again, go with the basics only. Don't try to do new things right now. Fine. Stick with what you have learned already. Revise what you have learned already. That would help you maximize your score. Right? So before I end this particular video, again, I would like to stress this point, and I'm repeating myself because it is very, very important for all you students out there. Please understand the pattern. Minimum cutoff is something that you need to clear. So in case if you're very comfortable in a particular paper and you don't clear the minimum cutoff in the other paper, you would not be taken forward to phase 2. Right? So that is where I am asking you to emphasize the importance of knowing the minimum cutoff and the aggregate cutoff. Right? Okay. So thank you so much for being a part of this particular video, and just go and check out our learn plan and the test plans. It might help you to, prep up your preparation in the coming days, step up your preparation in the coming days, and let us know if there are any doubts that you have. Put that in the comment section below, and our team will be more than happy to help you out. And we do have a separate Telegram channel for regulatory bodies exam. And from today, we'll be posting 10 MCQs, important ones, on for your IFSCA Grade A examination there. You can go and solve those questions. It's going to be posted daily. It's going to be related to IFSCA important topics. So in case you're somebody who's looking out to solve as many MCQs as possible, please join the Telegram channel, the link of which is placed in the description box of this particular video. There, we have also shared IFSCA questions, related questions earlier as well. So you can download that also from that particular channel. So please go and have a look at it. And please do like this particular video if in case you think it helped you to step up your preparation. Thank you so much.